Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla, and welcome to the tale of triumph and disbelief, where the underdog rises from obscurity to claim the title of the best-selling car in the world. This is the remarkable story of the rise of the Model Y. Back in March 2019, when Tesla unveiled the Model Y, skeptics dismissed it as nothing more than a slightly larger version of the Model 3. Many scoffed at the idea, believed it to be mere vaporware that would never see the light of day. One such doubter was automotive legend Bob Lutz, who couldn't fathom why anyone would want to buy such an ugly vehicle, thinking it would only cannibalize the sales of its sibling, the Model 3.
The Model Y, I think it's terminally ugly. I don't know who's going to buy that. It's another one of these humpback things like the Model X. It's neither a sport utility nor a sedan, and to the extent it sells, I don't think it's going to break into a new segment. I think the sales will be largely substitutional to the Model 3.
Even Elon's audacious claims that the Model Y could become the best-selling car in the world was met with laughter. Critics thought this was nothing but empty promises. But as the saying goes, the one who laughs last laughs hardest. Those who doubted, like Mark Spiegel, couldn't have been more wrong, calling it vaporware.
This is sort of the vaporware Tesla Model Y that we will probably never see.
Yes, the Model Y, which was once dismissed as mere mirage, has defied all expectations and surpassed every other car to claim the throne of the best-selling car in the world. The reality has proven to be polar opposite of what the naysayers predicted. But what is it about this underdog car that captures the heart and minds of so many people, even with a higher price tag compared to popular models like Toyota Corolla and the RAV4? What sets the Model Y apart, making it the preferred vehicle of choice in the world? In today's video, I would like to go through the real reasons behind the Model Y's meteoric rise from being the challenger to become the true champion in just 3 short years. This is a story of innovation, passion, and relentless pursuit of excellence. So let's check out all the extraordinary qualities that has made the Model Y a true icon in the automotive world. And let's dive right in. When it was revealed in March 2019, Tesla has only sold 500,000 cars cumulatively. Now they have passed 4 million. Back then they only had 12,000 superchargers. Now they're closing in on 50,000. Tesla only had 1 factory at Fremont. Now they have 4, and the 5th is being built in Mexico. Yes, a lot has happened with Tesla in only 4 short years. From a little car company most thought would just go bankrupt and disappear, to now have the best-selling car in the world and have sold more units than even the German giant Audi. As Elon said, he expected the Model Y to sell as many units as the Model 3, S, and X combined. No one believed him outside the Tesla community, but it did. In 2022, it sold about 771,000 units out of the 1.3 million cars they sold globally. He also expected it to be the best-selling car in the world by earnings in 2022, which it did. The Tesla Model Y had the second best revenue of any vehicle on the planet in 2022, only beaten by the F-150 pickup series, which has a higher average selling price. But when it comes to profit, Tesla earned more than twice the amount on the Model Y than Ford did on their entire F-150 series. So by profits, Tesla's Model Y did become the best-selling car in 2022. And then Elon predicted by 2023 it would become the best-selling car by units beating vehicles at half the price. Seemed absurd that a vehicle this expensive and electric would ever become the best-selling car in the world, but it already happened. In Q1 of this year, the Tesla Model Y became the best-selling car in the world. But let me show you the real reasons why this car has so quickly become the best-selling car in the world. Tesla just lowered the price of the Model Y, so the true cost of ownership of a Model Y over a 5-year period becomes the bargain of the century in the car industry. Because it might have a starting price of $40,000 in the US with the tax incentive, but depending on how much you drive, you will save a lot of money on maintenance and gasoline. In my case, I save about $3,500 a year, as we drive about 40,000 kilometers a year. So in only 5 years, we will have saved about $17,500. So that is kind of what you have to deduct from the price, right? If you drive as much as me. So instead of comparing the Tesla Model Y to a $40,000 car, you kind of have to compare it to a nice car that cost $22,500. Then it just becomes ridiculous. There is no ICE cars with that sticker price below $25,000 that can come even close to the Tesla Model Y. Just as Tesla showed at the shareholder meeting, with the price cut, the Tesla Model 3 has now become cheaper than the Toyota Corolla in true cost of ownership over a 5-year span. So that is kind of what you have to keep in mind here. When I show you a little list of things you will get with your Tesla Model Y, this car is comparable in price to ICE cars that are $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper on the sticker price. So what do you get when you buy a Tesla Model Y? Well, as an electric vehicle, you get very long range. You get fast charging with 250 kilowatts, preheating of the battery that will give you 25% faster charging over any other EV that does not have this feature, even if they have the same size battery and can charge with 250 kilowatts. You will of course get the best charging network in the world. It is so good and so far ahead that Ford has just given in and joined Tesla's network. It can tow 1,600 kilo. It does a 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, has a top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. Best software in the business that gets better for every month that ticks by, with the best navigation system on the planet that can even redirect you to other chargers in real time if the one you're going to is getting full. It's the safest car in the world, just after the Tesla Model S. Best driver safety assist features in the world. And that's not me saying that. That is Europe NCAP, that is Australian NCAP, that's Nissan, so on. And it got some of the best cargo space of any electric vehicle. 700 liters trunk and 125 liters frunk. Is one of the most efficient electric cars out there and therefore cheapest to fill up. Also because, here in Europe at least, Tesla superchargers are by far cheaper to use. And all of these extra features you will get by defrosting your car, cool it down in the summer with scheduled departure, Sentry mode, dog mode, camp mode, keep the air conditioning on while you're shopping, controlling pretty much everything from the app, even summing out your car from a parking lot if someone has parked too close. And the big quality screen in the middle with the best entertainment around with YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and many games that you can play with a remote control. No other EVs has all of these features. They might have some, like the Ford Mach-E GT, which has the same kind of acceleration, but that's pretty much it. It loses on everything else and don't get much from the list, but is still more expensive. So all of these features and performance make the Tesla Model Y very, very special. You can't find anything out there that has the full package as you do with the Model Y. You might get some, but not all. I talked with a couple in England doing the Fully Charged live show, and the wife had set her mind on buying the Tesla Model Y, even though she was not a fan of the very clean and sleek look of the Teslas with the one big screen and nothing else. To her it was a little bit boring. But as we were talking and trying to think about other EVs to buy that was not a Tesla, that had the same kind of trunk and frunk and the same kind of price point and features, well, we couldn't really think of one. The Tesla Model Y is simply just the full package. A performance SUV with a huge amount of storage space, fastest charging speed with the best charging network in the world, with best software in the car and the app for the car, and the safest car you can buy. And all of that for a price that is below the average selling price of a car in the US. No wonder this car sees demand like no other car on the planet. It is the best value for money you can get right now. And on top of all these features that you notice as a customer, the Model Y is also the vehicle where Tesla introduced the gigacasting and has innovated on the whole way they produce a car. And that is why Tesla earns more money selling the Tesla Model Y than any other car manufacturer does selling their inferior ICE cars. Not surprisingly, this work of art, as Toyota puts it, has taken the world by storm and pulled the carpet away under the feet of the entire automotive industry. Nothing can really compete with this car. And remember, for me, I kinda have to compare it to an ICE car that costs less than $25,000. Nothing has these features and performance for that price. Show me an ICE vehicle for $45,000 that can do a 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Yes, that is an impossible mission that not even Tom Cruise can handle. But it is even hard to find mass-produced performance cars that cost 5 to 10 times as much as the Model Y with this kind of performance, a 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Not even the performance car maker, Porsche, can keep up here with their ICE cars. You can take their GTS version of the Porsche Macan, their SUV. Well, that costs 4 times as much as the Model Y without any add-ons, and sure, it is much more luxurious, but still, it does a 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.3 seconds with the sports package. So yes, it will look kinda slow compared to the Tesla Model Y, but that is kinda the thing here. To get the performance you get of the Tesla Model Y, you have to go way up in price of the ICE cars, so you have to pay 3 to 10 times as much. What Tesla offers is just unprecedented, and it does it with zero emission coming out of the car. Can't really say that about the Porsche Macan or the Lamborghini Urus S. They can't just beat the Model Y on performance, but that also costs 10 times as much. And I know some people don't like the simple interior of the Tesla, but look at this cluster of buttons here in the Lamborghini. It looks like something that's designed for the Fast and the Furious. There is literally no competition for this car. Every other ICE car or EVs compared to the Model Y is a compromise. So sure, you can get something else, but tell me, what do you not want? The same range or the same performance or slower charging or less safety? You have to let go of some of it, if not most of it, if you choose anything else. Marcus Brownlee once made a video about the perfect smartphone, and if you took all the best components and all the features that you wanted in a smartphone, it will cost $3,000, so nobody would buy it. But then he kinda showed, here are all the things that you want in a smartphone, and now you have to arrange them the way you would like it to make your perfect smartphone, but you're only allowed to make it cost $1,200. So that is why smartphones today are so much alike, as the cost of making them is pretty much the same. It is just a question of how expensive do you want it to be and which features do you want to promote. But this is where Tesla is in a completely league of their own, because it is like Tesla has taken all the parts that you want in a car, like great performance, safety, software, updatable, cargo space, charging speed, range, and so on and so on and so on, and put them all into one car. And now lowered the price to an impossible price for anyone else to copy. That is why when we take the price into calculation, there is simply no contest. It's simply impossible for anyone else but Tesla to make an EV with real profits, let alone put all the features and functions and performance into an EV for that price. It's like Tesla came out with the iPhone, but instead of the iPhone costing $500 as it did when it came out, Apple would have sold it for $100. So I know we like to say Tesla is kind of the iPhone moment of the car industry, but that's not really fair to Tesla, as I think this is much bigger than the iPhone. Yes, the Model S was kind of the iPhone moment, but that was still a very expensive car, just like the iPhone. But here we are, where everyone else is making electric cars that still cost them as much or even more to produce than what it did Tesla 10 years ago. Tesla is just so far ahead. They have just come out with the iPhone 14 for $100 and is still profitable, and everyone else can't even make a smartphone with all those specs and functions for $1,000. This is kind of what the Model Y feels like, and that is why this car sells so well. There is nothing out there that even gets close. Even after having the Plaid Model S for a week thanks to Tesla, yes, if money was not an issue for me, I would probably go with the Model S Plaid. But when I started to realize just how good my Tesla Model Y performance was, and it is only 1/3 of the price of the Plaid, here in Denmark anyway, it only showed me what an amazing deal the Model Y is. And that is why it's not just the best-selling car in the world and the first EV to claim that title, but it is the first time we see a passenger car with this price tag taking the #1 spot. This is usually for cars half the price. A big testimony to how much value for money you get with this car. The safest family car you can get with the performance of a Porsche is suddenly in reach for your everyday average family man, as the starting price of the Model Y is below the average new car price in the US. What Tesla has created here is just unprecedented. But it is not just me saying that. Just listen to the guys of the All In podcast.
The second shout out is
Okay, here we go.
to the Model Y team at Tesla. I have been a diehard Model X user from the beginning, right? I think I had
Here we go.
number 13. So I've had 3 or 4 of these things. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe this Y is really all it's cracked up to be. And I'm a bit of a curmudgeon and I have high expectations, but I just want to say that car kicks absolute ass. It is
Perfect.
No, it is incredible. That Model Y is going to be the
55,
best-selling
60 grand.
car.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best-selling car in America. If you get the base level, it's actually cheaper than the average car in America now with incentives.
Yep.
It's so good. So huge
A real
shout out to
300 miles range, which is great.
Huge shout out to the Model Y team at Tesla. You guys nailed it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an
my daily
incredible
driver,
product.
and
I love it.
I don't want to diminish the X.
I don't want to
The X
diminish
is a
the X
fabulous
either,
car.
but the Y is
the Y is so
it's
snappy.
incredible.
It literally is
Incredible.
the best car ever made.
It is the best, yeah.
It's a great car. It's a great car.
Yes, no one has ever created a product like this that is so superior in its category but also affordable, because Tesla did not just innovate on the product but also the way it's built. They have been able to take all the features that you want in the car, no matter what matters to you. Performance? Sure. Safety? Sure. Software? Sure. Cargo space? Sure. Whatever. They took all of them and put them into one car, and they called it the Model Y. Because why not? But remember, this is just the beginning. Because the most pre-ordered vehicle in history is about to enter production in only a couple of months. The Cybertruck. Hate it or love it, no other vehicle has got this many pre-orders. Model 3 got 400,000 pre-orders, and that was the most pre-ordered in history. But now the Cybertruck has 1.5 million. And after that, we will get the next generation vehicle that will cause Tesla half to produce and sell more than this Model Y. So keep your seatbelt on, because the ride is far from over.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.